Hello, this is a rules overview and how to play of Uncheckered, a two-player strategy board game. At the end, I will also cover some virtual tabletop specific items about how to play on this platform. Uncheckered is played on a 9 by 9 grid with dice as pieces. The dice move along the diagonals just like they would in checkers. And the object of the game is to get a 6 across the board into the far row on the other side. Now you don't see any 6s to start with. So how do you make 6s? Well, when dice combine with each other, so you move one of your own die into the space of another die, you take one off the board and you add the pips together. So 1 plus 1 gives 2. If I want to make a 5, a 4 and a 1 combine to make a 5. So when you do this, you're losing one of your die in exchange for being able to increase the value. So eventually you need at least 1 6 or a single 6 over to the other side. So one of the reasons that you want to change the value of the dice, however, is because of how the rules work concerning what can be jumped. So during a player's turn, you can either move a single die, a single space along a diagonal. You can promote a die in an adjacent space, or you can jump. But jumping only takes place if the value of the die is lower. So this 2 can jump the 1. The 1 cannot jump the 2. Also, 1s or any other number of the same value cannot jump each other. So these die are blocked from moving into this space or from jumping over this space. Another special thing that can happen with promoting or increasing the value of the die is that once per player per game, when you move into the center square, you can increase the die's value by 1. So this 1 could become a 2. Or if I have a 3 that's moving into here, the 3 can become a 4. But once you use that one time, that's it. That player cannot use that feature again. And that can only happen as you are moving into the space like this, one diagonal space. If you're jumping something, like if this 4 jumps to 1, I cannot then now make this 4 a 5. And one final thing to know regarding the value of the die is that there are certain special features for 1s, 5s, and 6s. Of course, 6s are how you win the game. But 6s are limited. They cannot jump anything. The 6 cannot jump the 1, even though it is larger value. But this 1 can jump to 6. Anything can jump a 6, and a 6 can't jump anything. Also regarding 5s and 1s. Obviously, a 1 can't jump a 5, but a 5 can't jump a 1. So 1s are sort of a blocking mechanism for setting up blocked areas off the board that make it hard to get around or through. And finally, 5s are invulnerable. Nothing can jump a 5 because a 6 can't jump it. 6 can't jump anything. And a 5 can't jump another 5. So once a 5 is on the board, it's there until the end. And then regarding promotion, when you're merging die, 3 and a 1 become a 4, right? So this is a 4. But what if I'm merging dice that give a sum higher than 6? So 5 plus 4 is 9. Well, it rolls over. So you do 5 plus 4 minus 6, and that would give you a 3. When you're promoting or merging dice, you can only move in the direction away from you. So let's make this a 1. This is what it would have been. This 1 can move this way. It can't move backwards. So if I want to promote this die, it's got to go in this direction. But that's another special feature of 5s and 6s. 5s and 6s can move forwards and backwards. But 1s, 2s, 3s, and 4s can only move forward. Forward being the direction away from you across the board, of course. And finally, regarding the winning conditions, you don't have to move a 6 into here. You can create a 6. So if I have a 4 here and then I'm moving a 2 down the board, and this 4 and the 2 combine to make a 6, and red wins. There are also a couple of tiebreaker rules, which I won't cover here, which are covered in the rule book. And then regarding the virtual tabletop implementation, there are a couple of automatic features that make using and playing it on this website pretty simple. So you can reset the game up here. I have, for this video, turned off originally all the automation, but when you first load the game, all the automation will be on. So let's see what that looks like. So when you need to take a seat in each of the seats, so that'll be player left, this will be player right, you just put whatever name you want, and then a random player will be chosen to go first. In this case, it's blue. If you want to change that, down here, you can switch the turn, whose turn it is. And after a player moves, the turn indicator will switch automatically. So let's say it's red's turn. Click on the die you want to move, and you get an option as to where you can go. So the 1 moves there, and now it's blue's turn. So blue goes here. If red wants to combine, merge a dice, then you click on the one you want to move. So this one is going to move here. So I click the plus button, and it combines and moves one off the board. When you move into the center square, you get this selection. If you want to use your promote opportunity now, click the black and white plus button. Otherwise, click the X. And then when a jump is possible, it will go ahead and tell you that a jump is possible. So I cannot activate any of these other die. The only one I can activate is this 2, and it tells me where I can jump to. And that's pretty much it for the automation. If you want to change a couple of things, or a few settings here, if you like to play sideways instead of up and down, you can do that. If for some reason the automation messes up and it didn't react the way it was supposed to due to some coding error, then you can turn off the automation and move things back to where they were. Or you can also use this undo button. The undo button will back things up. And lastly, there is a rule variation in the official rules. If you click on this, it will load the game. This will restart the game and make a 6 down here in the bottom center under the variation rules. That is the only 6 that you can have. You can't make another one, and you try to get that one across the board. So hopefully this has helped you understand how to play Uncheckered and how to play it on virtual tabletop. I hope you enjoy the game.